Jamie. The lunch bell rings as I get to my feet. I'm a little shaky, and I don't think it's just from falling. Mr. Ryan asks if I need to see the nurse. Tempting. I could pretend I got a concussion or something and lie on the cot for the rest of the afternoon. But since 20 kids saw me land on my stomach, she might have questions. That's not the usual place for a concussion. Once Maya sees I'm okay, she dashes out of the room like there was a rocket pack on her back. Thump! Now I'm just humiliated. I take a deep, shaky breath and count to 8. Better. Okay, I need to stay tough. Ignoring looks, I head to the field behind the school for a cookout. I remind myself that there are only a few hours left and things really couldn't get any worse. Note, obvious foreshadowing. Wrong. I start to panic. Anthony is nowhere to be seen, neither is Tyler, and I'm not really friends with anyone else. Why didn't I make more friends? Why did I talk about everybody? And why did I assume my group was gonna stick with me through thick and thin and medium? Whap, whap, whap. Mentally hitting self in head, not helping imaginary concussion. I'm this close to tears. I can't eat lunch alone. I just can't. I'll be known as a loser forever. Me as old lady. Okay. Deep breath again. Whoosh. Can you overdose on oxygen? Hey. I'm so startled I almost fall into the bleachers. It's Anthony. He's standing there with a hot dog in one hand and a water bottle in the other. I'm so relieved I want to hug him. I don't though. He might confuse my relief with insanity. You okay? Everybody's been talking about you and Maya getting in a fight. Great, now I'm a school-wide entertainment. Anthony starts to spit and stops. He sips his water instead. We're not really fighting. We're just not talking. Toxic Celia's poisoned her. Why? Well, 'cause I wish I knew. It can't just be because I'm not mature and we don't have anything in common. I don't buy it. I feel my cheeks getting hot. I don't know, I guess I'm no longer cool enough for her or something. Anthony looks genuinely surprised. Huh? You're one of the coolest people I know. That's the nicest thing anyone said to me, like in months. All I've heard lately is what's wrong with me. Anthony's words make me feel like my old cheerful self. Just for a minute. Back at ya. We smile at each other. For a split second, I feel something almost like tingles. I had a crush on Anthony in the beginning of 6th grade. Once we became friends, though, I kind of let it go. He liked Nikki, and then dreamy Zach Winkle asked me out. Zach and I dated for a whole month, which, according to my cousin, is like 4 years in middle school time. Fun fact, 6th grade dating is basically just walking the halls together. Oh my god, why am I thinking about that ancient crush? I have more important things to worry about. Anthony takes a long swig of water and avoids my eyes. Want to sit with me and Tyler? Yeah, I'd like that. I quickly grab a hot dog and water. We head farther down the bleachers, where I see Tyler sitting with Emmy, Sarah, and Brianna. I don't know the girls too well. I guess Maya and I were always too busy talking among ourselves to notice them much. I did only twice. One, when Emmy wrote a crazy love letter to Tyler, which turned out to be a joke, and the whole school found out all about it. And 2, when Brianna performed in the talent show. Up until then, I rarely even saw her outside the library. Okay, maybe I talked about the note thing at the time, but heck, the whole school did. Humiliation. Oh my god. Oh yeah, and when we found that Brianna's mom forced her to be in the talent show, there may have been some stuff said, but nothing terrible. Want to bet a Tasties cone she'll choke during the show? I feel a little guilty, but I shake it off. Past history. The girls throw me curious looks. Not hostile, just surprised. I suddenly feel, what's the expression? A fish out of water. Sarah clears her throat. Hi. That jolts Anthony into action. You guys don't mind if Jamie eats lunch with us, do you? Sarah and Emmy shake their heads and smile. I smile back and sit down. Brianna isn't smiling, but asks politely. You okay? We saw what happened in homeroom. I stare at my uneaten hot dog. Yeah, I'm just having some friend issues. They give me uncomfortable looks, like they want to ask questions, but aren't sure if that's being too nosy. I feel my eyes water, and I try and blink back the tears. Not now. I don't want to cry in front of this group. That would make an awkward situation even awkwarder. Well, you can hang out with us if you want. I mean, I know we're not the same kind of crowd or anything. That's a good thing, trust me. That kind of breaks up the weirdness. The girls laugh a little. Anthony says loudly, almost making me drop my hot dog. He has got to stop that. Come on, guys, let's eat. We eat, and for once, I don't say much. Just listen. Sarah, Tyler, and Emmy slowly start to talk about the school art show, which was just set up in the atrium. I know Emmy is a really good artist. I've seen her stuff. I still get surprised about Tyler, who's also pretty good. He really gets excited when he talks about our winter Centicle project. Ugh, I hated that. Yeah, who knew? Miss Laurie hung it up right in front, like, whoa, alien. Celia's joked about Tyler's new relationship with this bunch, but watching him, he looks pretty comfortable. In fact, I think he looks more at home with his group than with the basketball team. Of course, Tyler could care less about what anyone thinks and would probably be fine hanging on a desert island by himself. Zen tingles. Strangely, I'm relaxing just a little. I can tell they think my being there is super weird, but they change the subject to favorite and not so favorite teachers and try to include me in the conversation. I still don't feel like saying much. My mind keeps going back to the text. We had a meeting. That makes me want to cry again, but I try and hold it together. I start to wonder, against my will, where Maya and the others are. Just as I wonder, I look up and there they are sitting on our ledge eating lunch and looking straight at me. Maya. I try to stuff my feelings down, and seeing Jamie alone in the middle of the lunch crowd gives me all the feels. Phil Cloud. Oh look, she was rescued. Giggle. Oh my god, look who they're sitting with. Not my kind of crowd, but it totally suits her. It's like the island of misfit toys. That was a little mean, I guess. C catches herself because she turns to me. Just kidding. She'll be okay. See, she's already made friends. I'm sure Jay's miserable, but she does look more relaxed sitting with them. I try to relax too. So next year, do you guys want to do theme days like we talked about? I vote Monday for Sporty Day. We can wear joggers. I've got to admit, though, I don't get it. What does he see in her anyway? Who? Anthony. Who else? I thought he had better taste. Then again, he was with Nikki Lord, so maybe he keeps the bar low. Could be the heat, but I'm getting annoyed by Celia's comments. I have a sudden weird thought. She isn't jealous, is she? Yawn. Hey, C. Smooch. Dude, did you see that? Nah. I'm bored. Let's go do the hula hoops. Yes. We head over. There are already a bunch of kids and not enough hula hoops. That's okay. I'll go play volleyball. Meet you after? Please, like we don't know that's what you'd rather do. Giggle. Total excuse. It's true, but I just shrug and run toward the net. Big mistake. Gulp. Cheeks on fire. Awkward doesn't begin to describe it. Coach Dirtle divides us into two groups. Team A here. Not very original. Team B here. Making sure we're on separate teams. We start. Jamie's one of the best players, so they let her serve. Foomp. Somehow, I bump it to my teammate, who spikes it over the net. Jay hurls herself in front of another girl and does something I've only seen happen once by an 8th grade co-captain. Fwump. A dive and roll. It's flippin' spectacular. Fonk. Even Jamie is stunned. She doesn't get up for a moment. Ahem. Now, if you could do that in a real game, Jamie, that'd be something. Jamie hogs the ball on her side and tries to decapitate me with it. Scree! Ack! Okay, now I'm mad. That's total spite. Something fires up in me, too, and I keep digging or spiking it right back. Floop. Finally, Coach Dirtle blows her whistle and calls the game. Okay, people, final score 10-7. Good game. Now switch activities. Mr. Bauman is setting up hacky sack on the north end. Hey, Em, we're done. Let's do potato sack races. Fine with me. I'm spitting mad at Jamie for trying to knock my head off. But although I'm mad, I turn to find her out of habit. Anger melting. I suddenly think about how we've been inseparable since kindergarten. Haven't stopped talking since we were 6. Till now. Getting patient. Come on, Em, you'll be my partner. I sure hope this is worth it. Jamie. I'm ready to hurl knives at my so-called former friends, especially Maya and Grace. They're like cowardly robots who do anything Celia says. Maybe I'm not as cool, but at least I'm, well, myself. Queen C may rule with her overlord evil power, but they are 100% organic farm-to-table chicken. Bok. I went from sad to steaming mad as soon as I saw Maya at volleyball. All I wanted to do was take her out. I almost did a few times, but she's no slouch. She's pretty good at the game, especially defense. So we just kept hurling the ball at each other and pretty much forgot that anyone else was there. Fop, flop. Okay, I'm better backtrack before volleyball. I was still hanging out with Anthony, Tyler, and 3 girls. I like just sitting there listening to them talk about teachers, classes, and stuff. I even joined it a little and told them about the time Miss Wynne made me get up in front of the class and read 5 pages from King Lear. I mispronounced every other word, but instead of getting embarrassed, I started mispronouncing words on purpose, and it became a giant game for everyone. Crotty parasites did all the thunder. Ben spoke with maggots and strong blonde. Giggle, haha, sigh. They all laughed, well, everybody except Brianna. She looked like she wanted to, but was holding back for some reason. Maybe she doesn't have a sense of humor. Other than that, I was surprised at how much the girls' friendship seemed like Maya's and mine, or how it used to be. Also, I was shocked that Emmy could speak, laughing and chatting, like seeing a unicorn. But soon I noticed Celia, Maya, and Grace watching us from the ledge. Then they started whispering about me, obvious. I tried to ignore them, but Emma, Brianna, and Sarah started noticing the loathsome threesomes too, and they looked really uncomfortable. The boys were talking to each other and tuned everything out. Clueless, snort. They're staring at us and whispering, so are we? Think they're talking about us? Oh yeah, that's what they're good at. Emmy and Brianna gave me a weird look. I could see that they were growing more uneasy, so was I, but I didn't want them getting caught up in my mess. Besides, it's not like these girls who enjoy being the center of attention, especially Celia's attention. Ugh. Being there was making things worse, so I started to get up and leave, but Anthony, who finally looked up and noticed, chimed in, clued in. Forget about them. Let's go play some games. The girls quickly agreed. I think they wanted to get away from the C-scope. Eyeball. I decided to distract myself with volleyball. That's one thing that always made me feel better. As much as I like fashion, manicures, and food, I love volleyball. But I managed to turn a fun game into a near massacre. Scree, ack. And now here I sit having anger management issues, as if my emotions weren't already all over the place. Frankenstein of feelings, part 2. Fury, frown. Stress, stomach. Hostility, hamstring. Agitation, ankle. Suddenly, I hear Coach Dirtle blow her whistle. Mr. Bauman speaks into a megaphone. 7th grade tumble races start now. Nothing lures a kid, not even a big kid, like giant human hamster balls. The loathsome squeal and make a detour from the potato sack area toward the tumble balls, which makes me want to avoid the game altogether. But then I see Tyler and Anthony heading there, and I change my mind. I want to stay tough. I want everyone to see that I'm not broken. Jaime the Unbroken, 1,000-piece puzzle, not one piece missing. I get up, wipe my sweaty palms aggressively on my dirty leggings, and head over. Maya. As we wander to the tumble ball area, all the other kids watch us. People always watch C. Perfect clothes, perfect hair, blows in breeze with no breeze. Perfect teeth, no braces. Perfectly together. Gotta admit, being with her feels like celebrity-like. With Jaime, I didn't really pay attention to how people saw us. It's so different with C. Snap. Paparazzo. Click. Okay, I hate admitting it, but I love that people think I'm cool just by being with C. Hand-me-down coolness. And she's taken her status to a whole new level this year. It's like she's got all this newfound confidence and it just rubs off on us. Only problem is, if you can't keep up. We had a meeting. Also, being with C comes with sort of a price. Like, you gotta let go of some control or opinions or, Grace, we're not twins. Can you stop walking with me? This is gonna be so much fun. Remember last year when Josh Collins rolled into me on purpose? He pretended he didn't like me, but I could see right through that. Careful, my feet aren't lining up with hers. Giggle. I remember that time. I also remember that Jay talked Celia into racing him because C liked Josh too. They become a couple for like 3 weeks after that until she got annoyed with all his texts. Oh my god, okay, you love me. I get it. Coach Dirtle and Mr. Bauman try to round everybody up like cattle. Tweet, form to the lines, folk. Moo. Celia grabs my arm and leads me right to line 1. She practically shoves me in front. You go first and I'll go right after you. You can test the course, Em. I'm thrown off of balance sometimes. C can be aggressive, but she's my new BFF and I don't want to disappoint her. looking deflated like one of those racing potato sacks. For some reason, I feel torn. This half proud of celeb status, this half guilty and missing Jay. I can't help it. I look for her. Have it. Oh. I can't race against her. No way. C, can you go first, please? So much for brave, but fine. I feel deflated when C calls me out, but there's no way I can go against J. Back to chicken. Balk. Especially now. If it's possible, even glarier. Jaime, is it some cosmic joke that out of all the 7th graders, I happen to be standing right next to my stupid ex-BFF? My little brother would probably have some scientific explanation for it. It's the way the cosmos are aligned. Check it out. Nerdy textbook. Mr. Bauman raises the megaphone again and goes over the rules. No rolling your friends off path, no bouncing your friends down the ravine, and no tossing your cookies. I can't believe I'm racing Maya. I see her whisper something to Celia, who's standing behind her. Then they trade places. Seriously? Fine, I'll race Celia. Better yet. It feels like the anger is building up in me again, like fiery bubbles in my throat. I'll do this and come out on top. She may be Miss Popular, but I'm a better athlete. Determined look. Celia and I are first, and the teachers help us get into the big goofy balls. Even though we did this last year's field day, I still feel wobbly and unsure getting in. Looks like a big virus. Smells like the person who was in it before you. Celia is screeching and either laughing or crying. I'm not sure. I dream about rolling her like a human bowling ball into Maya and Grace. Strike! I struggle to stand up. I remember last year trying to adjust myself so I wouldn't fall off the opening. I get inside, upright, and hold the clear puffy ends. It's kind of slick in here and humid. I try not to think about that too much. Once we're set, Coach Dirtle raises her whistle to her lips. Everyone outside is screaming, cheering us on. On your mark, get set. I look over at Celia. I have only one thought in my head. Beat her. Tweet. Go! The teacher gives us a little shove and we're off. Well, sorta. This thing isn't easy. I slip and tumble right away, rolling to the side of the course. Coach Dirtle runs over and reboots me. I hear everyone laughing, but it's a good laugh, a fun laugh. Somehow I get upright and finally remember how I did it last year. Slow, long steps, pressing along the inside of the ball. I also push with my hands. There we go. I'm doing it. Whoa. Celia is far ahead of me, what I can see of her anyway. I can barely see, period. But in a few seconds, I manage to catch up. At first, I think my rage is fueling this thing, but I realize it's just moving too fast and out of my control. And now I'm veering off again. Whoops. Before I know it, I'm tumbling into Celia. Our inflatables collide. That causes mine to bounce in the opposite direction. I slip and fall and toss inside the ball before it comes to a stop. When it does, I'm laughing so hard, tears roll down my cheeks. This was just what I needed. If I can't beat her, I might as well pound into her. I have no idea where I am. I crawl out stinking like an old sock. 20 feet from the finish line. Wobbly. I look toward the finish line for Celia, but she's not there. I turn around and see her ball behind me. Celia is sitting on the ground a good distance away from it. She's all red-faced like she's about to cry. I see why. Her shirt had come off in the inflatable ball. It's a loose top, so it must have flown over her head when she collided. We're supposed to tuck our shirts into our shorts or pants beforehand, but either she didn't listen or it came loose anyway. Coach Dirtle is already hurling herself into the ball and grabbing the shirt, with which she runs with it towards Celia, who's now sitting and hiding her body with her arms.